Namaste everyone all. Welcome back to another English online session. Today I am going to narrate the fourth chapter in the textbook First Flight. This lesson is an excerpt from Diary of a Young Girl or the Diary of Anne Frank. It is an autobiography that was first published in 1947. In this, Anne expresses her thoughts in a diary which was gifted to her on her 13th birthday. She names the diary Kitty, which she considers as her only true friend. She mentions about her childhood, her family, and a lot of other things that she told no one else. As we learned from the previous narration, this is an extract from the autobiography of Anne Frank. The name of the book is Diary of a Young Girl. In this particular diary, she had written everything happened in her life, like brief sketches, because she considered this diary as her true friend. Like we used to share everything with our friends, best friends or true friends, and shared everything in her diary. Even she named her diary Kitty. It was given as a birthday gift to her by her father. Now let me explain you the content. Before that, just note down the meaning of the words in your textbook. The chapter starts like the author feels that it is strange and unusual for her to write in a diary about her feelings and experiences because it was the first time she was doing it. When the story or the chapter starts, it was informed that it was a strange or unusual experience for Anne Frank because for the first time she was writing a diary. She feels this because she thinks that in the future no one would be interested in reading about a young schoolgirl's past. So she was thinking that even if she write in this diary, no one take the interest to read what she had written in the diary because she was a 13-year-old child. Nobody interested to read the thoughts of a 13-year-old child. She thinks that later even she will not be interested in reading it. But then she puts these thoughts away and decided that she should write if she feels like doing so. She also have the self-doubt that even she would not read it, but after some time she kept all those thoughts away and she just started writing or thinking about writing diary. She feels the need to write because there were a lot of thoughts she had been holding on to lately and she needed to get them off her mind. It is known that writing one's thoughts act as therapy. She makes the decision of writing a diary. So much things going on in her mind. She want to keep everything away from her mind. So writing those things on a diary, it works like a therapy. So she decided to write in a diary just to keep all the thoughts away from her mind. She wanted to free from those thoughts. That's why she decided to write on her diary. The author feels that paper has much more capacity to observe thoughts than people. People have low patience levels, but a piece of paper, being a non living thing, would not refuse from observing her thoughts. So it is like when we talk to our friends or our siblings, they may not listen to us for a long time. They may not take all the things we say. That's why she was saying that she can write whatever comes in her mind on the paper. That's why she was saying that paper has more patience than people. This realization came to her one day when she was feeling more sad and confused than usual. She could not even decide whether to go out or stay at home at that time. When she finally decided to stay at home, she sat being depressed and in deep thought. So it's a kind of a realization for her. Because of these disturbed thoughts, she was thinking about going out or staying in home. She was really depressed feeling. She wanted to share whatever she feel in her mind with others. She was completely disturbed by the thoughts. Again, she thought that paper had more patience, and she decided to write everything came in her mind because she did not intend on making someone read it unless she found a real friend. So she decided to write whatever comes in her mind. And one thing she kept in her mind that she is not going to share this diary with anyone else unless she find a real friend. So she can write whatever comes in her mind. By real friend, she meant a friend with whom she could share all her secrets. The author then comes back to the point where she thought of beginning to write. It is because she is lonely and has no friends to talk to. So, the real reason she was revealing why she started writing or thinking about writing was that there are no real friends for her. She felt very lonely. There in that house, many people are there, parents, her sibling, and other people, but she felt like she was alone. She then goes on explaining why she feels the need for a friend. She feels that no one is going to believe that a young girl like her is so alone, which practically she is not because she has a loving family. Nearly about 30 people that can be called friends, loving aunts, and a good place to stay. When she says that she was alone, nobody could believe that because she has a loving family. Her father, a loving father, she already stated that. Her mother, her sister, Margaret, all of them are very friendly to her, and nearly 30 people are staying with her, her aunts, everyone. But still, she was feeling alone. This depicts a clear picture of a happy family, but the one thing that lacks in her life is the presence of a true friend with whom she can share everything. Actually, she is happy with the people around her, but the only thing she was missing, as she was stating that she was missing a true friend who can she share everything. She does have a good time with friends. They talk about stuff but not real stuff that is actually going on in their lives. Despite trying hard, they are unable to get closer. She feels that maybe it is her who is not able to trust anyone with her private stuff, that she is not able to come any close to her friends. Actually, the problem was that she could not trust anyone. She could not share the private matters or her secret with the other people. They are talking about general what are the things going on by the time, but she wanted to talk more. but she had trust issues. That's why she was not sharing anything with the other friends. She feels that the current situation cannot be changed, and thus she needs to write her feelings in the diary. So she was thinking that it was not going to change, so the only choice is writing the things in her diary. Usually, when someone is writing in a diary, they list down all the facts about them in a formal manner, which the author does not want to do. This is because she wanted to give her need for a friend a shape, and thus she decided to name the diary as Kitty. She was approaching the diary as a friend. There are no formal way of beginning or writing the details in a formal way. She was considering her diary as a friend. Even she named the diary Kitty. So she was considering the diary as a friend. That's why she didn't give or begin to write in a formal way. She was hoping that someone would read her diary one day. She thinks that writing without giving details about the background story would be ineffective. So, despite not wanting to do, she gives brief details about her life. So, she was also thinking if someone read her diary in the future, they wanted to know the details. For that reason only, she was giving some background stories about her life. So, despite not wanting to do so, she gives brief details about her life. She didn't like to give, but still, for the sake of giving, she had given a brief detail about her life. She refers to her father as the most lovable father one could get. Her father married her mother when he was at the age of 36 and she was 25. And her sister Margot were both born in Frankfurt. Now she was giving some details about her father and her mother. She was saying that her father was most lovable person, and her mother also, and she had a sister Margot, and they were born, the name of the place is Frankfurt. As soon as Anne turned 4, her father moved to Holland. From Frankfurt, the family moved to Holland, followed by her mother in September, while both the sisters stayed with their grandmother in Ashen. So when Anne Frank was 4 years old, her father just shifted to Holland. Then, after some time, her mother also went with her father in Holland. After that, Margot and Anne Frank they stayed with their grandmother in Ashen. Margot was also sent to Holland in December, followed by Anne in February, who was brought as a birthday present for Margot. So the upcoming December, Margot also sent it to Holland, and after that, a few months later, Anne was also sent it to Holland as a like a birthday present to Margot, because she was arrived in Holland uh, at the birthday of Margot. In Holland, Anne was sent to Montessori nursery school. It was her first school. So she started schooling in Holland, the Montessori nursery school. She started from first form there. She had Mrs. Kupras, the headmistress, as her teacher in sixth form, who even cried at the time of farewell. So this shows the understanding between the headmistress, the teacher, Kupras, Mrs. Kupras, and Anne Frank. When she left the school, they both cried in the farewell. In 1940, the author's birthday could not be celebrated well because her grandmother fell ill and underwent an operation. So it was a sad thing for the family. The grandmother was not well, so she couldn't celebrate her birthday properly. Unfortunately, her grandmother left them in January 1942. In 1941, the other's birthday could not be celebrated. And Frank's birthday could not be celebrated because her grandmother fell ill and she underwent an operation. It was a sad thing for the family. Unfortunately, her grandmother left them in January 1942. The grandmother passed away that year also, very sad, or they could not celebrate anything in that sad mood. Anne misses her grandmother more than anyone knows. Apparently, it seemed that there there weren't a strong relationship between Anne and her grandmother, but actually she was stating that she liked her grandmother a lot. Their relationship and the way she just loved her grandmother were not very much known by others. This year's birthday was to be celebrated with a great zeal so as to compensate for the last years. For the last 1 or 2 years, she didn't celebrate her birthday well, so that particular year she celebrated well that birthday, like a compensation of the last two birthday celebrations. She then mentions that her family is doing well, which sums up her background and brings her to the present date of June 20, 1942, when she was writing her diary. So far she had given a summary of her family, a brief sketch about her family before she started writing or recording her day-to-day activities or the thoughts. She just had given the family history. So now the date is June 20, 1942. She was going to record something in her diary. The balance part of the chapter I will explain you in the next video. Now read the text thoroughly and try to learn the meaning of new words. Don't forget to refer the dictionary for the meaning of new words. See you in the next class. Bye.